Who are you? You know what I'm saying? It's a question sometimes that we got to ask ourselves, like who we are as a person. Is being selfish, as they like to call it, self stability for yourself. You got to sometimes stop helping in places that don't require you to help. There's helping and then there's doing. And for me, all my life, as I can remember growing up, I've helped people all my life. Like I've always been that type of dude. Because God put me in a place of learning. You ever heard a hard head make a sorry ass? I went through that. I went through that step of life. And then God said, because you feel like you are untouchable, I'm going to slap reality into you. People say, tell me your story. So I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. First of all, I was born in a place called Elmira, New York. So a lot of people don't know where that's at. It's a small town, upstate New York. Mountains. For all y'all who don't think New York got mountains, I was raised where mountains was at. Probably like when I was like about 4 or 5, my mom decided to move to Texas. Sent us back to New York every summer so we wouldn't forget where we come from. Fast forward, I went to about 5 elementaries. We moved to the ghetto, and then we moved into a house, and I thought we were rich because I didn't have the understanding of how we got to where we're at. Because I didn't have that understanding, I just thought we were rich. And I watched as a lot of things transpired in life. My mother married a man who was super abusive. And I realized that being a man who can provide versus a man who provides and takes control and only knows how to be an abusive man is 2 different things. I knew that would never be me. So as I got older and I went through what I had to go through, I became heartless. I became a heartless man. Because when my mother put him out, I watched without him we were good, when he came we were bad, and when he left we were good again. So I watched my mother. I'm telling you, just pay attention, Michael. I'm telling myself, as you get older, the things that traumatize you as a child, you don't want that to happen in your life when you have kids. So my mother always said, you gotta go to school. You gotta get an education. I didn't understand why, right? So I was a great student. I went to school. I watched my mother scrub toilets, work at Jack in the Box, work for Montgomery Wards as a bill collector. And I watched my mother's hustle. And then I was like, wow, my mother is like an amazing woman, right? I remember I went to go visit my father in New York. It was Christmas time. And I remember I called him up and I said, hey, Dad, I want to come and see you. And my father said something to me that stuck with me to this day. He said, nah, you can't come right now because I have company. You can't come right now because I have company. I took that as if I was like the secret child or the embarrassment child, because my father had a wife and kids already. You know what I'm saying? I went to my mom and told her, don't ever bring me to see this MF ever again. And I was only like 10 or 11 years old. I tell you that part of the story so y'all can understand what's about to happen. When I decided that I never want anything else to do with my father. Now, let me pause y'all. Me and my father are good now. So let me make y'all understand how we got to that point. I told my mom, I said, I don't want to be nothing like him. I want to be just like you. She said, your father's a hard worker. He's just not your typical father. See, there's some fathers that are lovable and hardworking. My father's father never taught him how to be both. So for me, it was, I'm not going to have that father that shows up at football and basketball games and calls and checks on you. I'm not going to have that person. All right, cool, no problem. My great-grandfather filled that void. He would always tell me, like, you do the best you can with what you have, right? It was hard for me, being a black and Puerto Rican kid growing up, wanting the attention of my father, but not understanding like how it plays out, right? My mother told me, she said, I need you to stop hating this man, right? I need you to stop hating this man. And I explained to my mother, why would you ask me to stop hating a person who doesn't even show any attention to his kid? And I realized at that moment that I was never going to be that person. As I got older, I started realizing that the life I have, what do you say? Our father doesn't show love and blames that he will never love. Let me finish. I agree, but let me finish. So I told my father one day, I said, I gotta have a heart-to-heart with you. Mind you, I'm a grown man at this point. I waited a long time to have this conversation. So I have this talk with my father and I say, you know, you're a disappointment to me. And my father was like, what do you mean? All my life, I hear all these people tell me how great of a man you are, how you're a father figure to others, but you were never a father to me. So I'm trying to figure this out. And then my father said the one thing in life. He said, most of the kids that I help have a drug addict for a mother, a dope fiend for a father, and they'll never know what it's like to have one person in their corner. You have a mother that is super strong, and she gonna make you strong. And I looked at him and like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I looked at him like, what the fuck are you saying? My mother's a tougher man than you? And it became obvious to me that my father was trying to tell me life will throw you a curve at any moment. At any moment, life will throw you a curve, right? I'm at work in case y'all don't see. So what ended up being was the streets gave me an understanding. I joined a gang when I was young. I started hustling when I was young. I got in trouble young. Everything that I did. And then when I realized like, oh, the lesson I have to learn is when you are out in the streets, everybody love you. But when you get locked up, you're on your own. People will always ask me, man, how did you bounce back from this? The most amazing story I can tell y'all is when I went to jail, a Hispanic man saved my life. Not physically, but mentally saved my life. He told me, he said, listen to me. You gotta understand that every time you think somebody has your back, they don't. He goes, look at me. I'm part of one of the most dangerous, I don't want to call it a gang, but one of the most dangerous, I guess organizations that you're ever going to be a part of. And I said, okay. He said, how old are you? You're locked up. How old are you? I said, I'm 19. He said, 19 years old, you're locked up for stupidity. I'm going to give you the game of life. He said, you go find you a job, no matter what job it is, make sure you could turn it into a career. said, all right. I got put on probation for 5 years, and let me explain something to you. Probation is set up for you to fail, unless you're mentally able to understand it. I said, okay, I'm on probation. Here we go. 5 years of probation. And I met a man named Victor Biza, who he passed away in August. So he became my mentor. He said, I'm going to teach you how to have a career in a job that people are going to laugh at you about. I said, in my head, I'm already thinking, I need to get back to the streets and get this money, right? I'm already thinking this. I said, what am I going to do? He said, I'm going to teach you how to stop worrying about what people think and start worrying about how life can be. I said, all right, man, whatever. Let's get to it, man, because I got things to do. And I'm going to show y'all what it is. This man taught me how to drive one of these. When I first saw one of these, you know what I said? You done lost your motherfucking mind. I ain't driving no school bus. He said, you see where your train of thought is? Your train of thought told you people gonna laugh at me for driving this bus. But your train of thought didn't tell you I'm gonna make a career out of this and I'm gonna have a 401k plan plus medical insurance. Your train of thought didn't tell you that. So as I became more of a thinking adult, mind you, I started driving this when I was like 20 something years old, right? I go in and I say, all right, well, this is what it is. This is what it is. And then the most amazing thing happened. I get a job at a school, which I've been at for 20 years. And I realized not everybody wants you to win anyway. So I become this bus driver, and I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna drive a bus. I'm gonna go on about my business. I come in the morning, I'm gonna drive. No, totally wrong, right? I come in the morning, and I'm like, shoot, school bus driver. I'm about to be home. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. That's 4 hours, man. It's part-time. No. Remember when you was in school, the best thing you ever wanted to do was be a patrol person with the signs out? Remember that? I become a patrol person. I got to get kids across the street. I got to get kids ready for, like, get them over here after I drop them off. Well, the school I worked at, they didn't have a cafeteria on the same side of the street as where the kids go. So what ends up happening is I end up having to bus these kids across the street. Mind you, it's literally across the street. Like, there's a crosswalk. They're like, nah. Take them across the street and wait for them to get done eating. Now, mind you, I'm like, man, it's like 10 steps. In that process, I didn't understand the humility of what I was taking myself through. It wasn't that it was 10 steps. It was 10 steps of unsafety because they had to cross a road, cars were coming down. You know what I'm saying? It was 10 steps of uncertainty. So I was like, okay, I get it now. Then what ends up happening is I become a coach. School ain't winning. Horrible. I take over. I say, look, this is something I can do. I know football. I know basketball. Mind you, it was flag football at the time. But basketball, I knew. So they give me second graders through 12th grade. I'm coaching them all. We start winning. I found my niche. Now. And I got the understanding what my father meant when he said, there are some kids who have two parents. There are some kids who have one parent. some kids that have no parents. Sometimes you're going to be all they have. And I said, well, who am I then? You ever hear him say, man, God got a calling for you. You just got to wait on it. God put me where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there. So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I end up having my own kids. And this is where it gets tricky. Nobody tells you one person can fulfill the void of many. I end up having different baby moms. I end up having 7 kids. And you can't spread your time out equally with your kids. And there was times I would cry because I didn't want to be that guy. So my firstborn daughter was the first person that I loved more than myself because somebody needed me. So I would work 2 jobs. I'd do security. I'd work at Ryan Steakhouse, West Telemarketing. I would just work because I finally had somebody who needed me as much as now I needed them. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. This daddy thing ain't that bad. I'm spending time with my daughter. I got my son. You know, he comes in as the factor for me. My son, my firstborn son, taught me, I'm going to make you like me. I'm going to love you every day. I'm going to show you that I'm here every day, no matter what. Things don't work out with the baby moms. I go on about my business. I have my second son. I don't raise him. I don't have no. I see him like here and there. He gets older. He chooses a different lifestyle. At first I was like, nah, but now I respect it. And then I'm just like, wow, I'm having these kids, man, and like I'm not enjoying it. So then I have my daughter, my second daughter. I'm raising her. I'm like, all right, cool, I got it. Me and her mom never together, but I got my daughter. And then, boom, she gets married, things change. Oh no, you got to do it like this. Mind you, they all put me on child support. I don't care. I'm gonna take care of my responsibility. I have my 3 youngest kids, and my whole life changes because my youngest son, who I'm grateful for, taught me what it meant to be a man. I've only been a man in this sense for 17 years of my life. I'm 49 years old, and I've only been a man for 17 years. When I mean a man, I mean a responsible man. Because my youngest son taught me how love is supposed to be all the way through. My 2 twin daughters taught me, you don't want nobody treating us like this, so don't treat nobody else like this, right? In the midst of all that, you meet great people, right? You fall in love, you raise your stepsons, and then you realize, like, you can choose your pattern, right? You have to realize, like, the choices we make today will affect us long term. And I'm now going to break this down. Fathers, your sons and daughters look at you as what they want to do as they get older and what they don't want to be sometimes when they get older. So if you're just teaching your sons, get as many women as you can, but you're not teaching them like responsibility of heartbreak, savings, what it is to be an adult when they get older, you failed the mission. You failed the mission. And it's horrible Because 9 times out of 10, you weren't taught anything other than to provide. Now, ladies, what I'm about to say gonna make y'all mad, and really I don't care, but it's gonna be realistic. Your standards gotta match your hustle. Most of you women will say, I want a 6-figure man. Have you seen you? Do you look like you need to be with somebody with 6 figures? Do you bring 6 figures to the table? No, you don't. Your standards way up here for what you want when you don't even accomplish the basic necessities for yourself. Don't ask for a man to come with 6 figures and you can't even boil water. You can't cook, you can't clean, and you want a man with 6 figures? You must have bumped your head somewhere. See, a woman that can make food from scratch, keep her house clean, she go to work, and she got time throughout the day to text you, that's a keeper, my boy. Ladies, don't be looking at a man and be like, oh, he too short. Because if we got to start going by the criteria is this. If a man is too short, then we need to put a scale out for you to stand on to make sure you ain't too big. We need to go by certain criteria now. Remember who you are. Because what happens is you will pass up a good thing because your brain ain't working. You don't have to impress the world. Eyelashes, BBLs, makeup, all that is superficial shit. When you take it all off, we got to see the real you anyway. Men walking around flashing all this money that you really don't got. Like, your check came in great, but did you do the necessities first? Did you pay your bills? If you walking, what is your plan on getting a car? If you living at home with your mama, what is your plan on getting a house? What is your stepping stone? You don't got money for food, but you got money to buy marijuana. Does it make sense to y'all? Your priorities are off. See, some of you men don't understand the understanding of, let me put things in perspective. Okay? So now let's look at why most women act the way they act. I'm finna give it to y'all fellas raw and uncut. Some women gotta be the man and the woman because some of y'all men became soft. And what I mean by became soft, I mean this. Your woman wakes up, she gets your food ready, she gets you ready, and then sends you on your way. That's the same shit your mama did when she sent you to school. Then she got to come home, wash clothes, cook, clean, get your stuff ready for you to take a shower, and you go lay down. That's the same shit your mama did when you was a child. See, let me give you the knowledge of life. If your woman cooks and you eat, you need to clean. Even if you go to work. See, this is a team effort. Oh, ladies, don't get it twisted, though. I'm coming for y'all next. If your kid is being disrespectful in the house and you don't have your woman's back, you letting your kid run amok, then shut up when she fuck him up. Now, ladies, I'm on you. You see that trash can that sits in the kitchen? It gets full. Don't wait on nobody to take that out. You can take it out. Go on, grab it. Go on, grab it, because this is a weed project. Now, if it's too heavy, okay, I get it. But you see how that grass grows? Go on, just get that lawnmower and get to cutting it. Go on, cut it. Don't wait. Now, Unless your man tells you, hey baby, don't touch my yard. That's on me. That's me. Cause some men feel that way. Like, baby, that's me. You got inside, I got outside. Watch out. Now, as a man, sometimes we be lazy. We'll say, man, I'll get to that another day, man. I just want to kick back. And it's the woman's job to say, every time you kick back, it grow higher. You got to be a listener before you can be a leader. Men, stop taking everything your woman say so personal. Women, stop when your man corrects you on things like you got a shirt on, it's too low cut. He wants you to pull it up because you represent him. Stop being like, oh, you just don't want nobody to see me. Nope, I don't. Because I want you for me. And if you can't take that, you need to go. That's just facts. You got to be respectful. All that makeup y'all put on, sometimes, man, we know the circus here before y'all do. Man, all them tight ass pants y'all be wearing, man, look, if you weigh, listen, they call skinny jeans for a reason. Because they was made for skinny people. Anybody over 130 can't wear no damn skinny jeans. Keep it a buck with you. Get you some pants with some wiggle room. Get you some pants with some wiggle room. Ladies, you know them jeans with all them holes in it that y'all like to cut up? They got all these holes in it. Let me explain something to you, because I'm going to keep it raw and uncut. If you got cottage cheese hanging out the back and in the front, don't wear them. Don't wear them. It ain't about, oh, I love me some me. Cool, but we make fun of y'all. I'm just going to keep it a buck with y'all. We make fun of y'all. Because we like, damn. It look like a pothole walking around. We ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Man, you know how you big and your stomach hanging, and you got that little ass shirt on and your stomach hanging past the little shirt, man, get you a bigger shirt. Don't walk around unconfident. Cover yourself up. Because guess what they do? They make fun of you too. You gotta know who you are. When you sitting down and you trying to figure out life, you gotta figure life out all the way through. You want a new house? Pray on it. You wanna cut people off? Cut them off. But don't let them come back. When you cut somebody off, cut them off. 100% cut them off. I don't care how long you know them. Cut them off. Because when you cut a person off, I'm talking about a person that's been bringing you nothing but headaches. When you cut them off, look at the peace you have. Now, I'm going to say this last part before I get up out of here. I've been on here almost 30 minutes. I'm going to say this last part. For all y'all social media people, that ain't your real life. Social media ain't your real life. Y'all out here spending more time on social media than you is with your partner, something wrong with you. But if you building a platform and your partner's like, look, this is how you do it to get there, that's because they believe in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You got to have somebody that's going to believe in you. But can't nobody believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Understand that. And when you sit down at the end of the day and you know who the fuck you are, can't nobody move your swag. Nobody. Make sure when you wake up every morning, you give God his thanks, and then you start your day. But know who you are at all times. You tell your family members, no, I can't lend you no money. No, you can't stay with me. You tell your friends, no, I can't pick you up for work. Why? Because when you got your income tax, you didn't think nothing about how you was going to get back and forth. You bought the new iPhone, the new Jordans, and some chains. Take it all back and go get you a car. Take it all back. Half of y'all don't even see y'all friends till it's income tax time. Half of y'all don't see your family till it's income tax time. And guess what? When the income tax money gone, so are they. Now y'all take that and cash that in. You feel me? Y'all join me tomorrow and we gonna keep getting it popping every day on here, all right? the Carter Podcast. I'm your boy, Carter the Boss. Peace.